Now we have matching type of questions, and it's very simple. Let's see how to do it. What does Paul decide about each of the following modules? By the way, there's going to be the same talk. In listening, part 1, there'll be one talk, dialogue. Part 2, usually there is one commentary, one person talks. And part 3, there's going to be a dialogue. Sometimes there are 3 people involved, but throughout part 3, the topic and the speakers will be same. They will not change. And in part 4 also, one speaker throughout the part. So, what does Paul decide about each of the following modules? Now, modules are questions and decision is A, B or C. Now tell me, by the way, when they give you half a minute to read the questions, will you read questions or will you read what does he decide? Decide. You know why? Questions are only modules and they will speak about them exactly the same way. For example, question number 27, gender studies in Latin America. You don't understand it. I mean, you don't get any piece of information from there. Question number 28, second language acquisition. It's not appropriate to read the question and sometimes they replace them. Sometimes options are in questions and questions are in options. So whatever gives you information, you will read that. Questions or options, whatever gives you information, you will read that. For example, in the questions, if they give you the names of the books and then there are options, will you read questions or options? Options. If in the options they give you the names of the movies and then comments are in questions, then what will you read? Comments. Okay, so decide wisely. They'll give you half minute. Now option A, he will do this. What are the other possible ways of saying I will do it? Most definitely I'll go for it, or I have already decided to do it, or I really want to go for that. I look forward to it. Anything like that. He will do it. If he will do it, answer is A. He might do this. For might, he can use the word maybe, perhaps, it is possible, probably, anything like that. Okay? This is what they want to check. He won't do it. Won't means will not. Won't means will not. Won't is the contraction of will not. He won't do it. So for will not, he'll say, I'll not go for that. Or I've not made up my mind for it. I think I'll not go for it. Anything like that. Now, question number 27. Gender studies in Latin America. Listen carefully and answer is going to be A, B or C. Gender studies.
But now let's look at these modules. You'll need to start thinking about which ones you'll definitely want to study. The first one here is gender studies in Latin America. It looks at how gender analysis is reconfiguring civil society in Latin America. Women are increasingly occupying positions in government and in other elected leadership positions in Latin America. I think you'd find it interesting.
If it was to do with people in the villages rather than those in the public sphere, I would.
Okay.
So, B. Very good. Very good. Excellent. Let's do clapping. Huh? No? हाँ? अभी इसी को चलाऊंगा दोबारा. Okay? Correct answer is C. Correct answer is, I'm serious, believe me, kasam se. Okay. C is the right answer. He will not do this. Now listen, one thing I tell you. All 3 options A, B, C, they are he. Repeat after me. He. Like that, okay? So, you will not listen to the lady, whatever she is doing. That's gibberish for you. You will listen to Paul, and Paul is Paula. You will listen to Paula, whatever he says at the end. I mean, the lady is saying this is this and this is that and this you will learn this and that. Whatever he says, just you got to listen to that. I'm playing it again.
But now let's look at these modules. You'll need to start thinking about which ones you'll definitely want to study. The first one here is gender studies in Latin America. It looks at how gender analysis is reconfiguring civil society in Latin America. Women are increasingly occupying positions in government and in other elected leadership positions in Latin America. I think you'd find it interesting.
If it was to do with people in the villages rather...
If it was to do with people in the villages rather than, right?
Than those in the public sphere, I would.
Okay.
I would. अगर ऐसा होता तो मैं करता. So he is not doing it. Yeah? Try to understand. If it was about the people in the villages rather than this, then I would. For example, if you would have offered me 500 rupees, then I would. What does it mean? You didn't offer me 500 and I am not going to do it. Okay. So this is advanced level English which you have to understand. I try to play the last part again.
Section
Is to utilize existing.
But now let's look at these modules in Latin America.
Last part.
I think you'd find it interesting.
If it was to do with people in the villages rather than those in the public sphere, I would.
Okay.
I would. If it was about this, he talked opposite. For example, we are going on a tour to Karachi. Would you like to come along? If it was a tour to Islamabad, then I would. What does it mean? I'm not coming. Simple, yeah? We are arranging a tour to Muridke. Would you like to come? If it could be a tour to UK, then I would. Right? So it means I'm not coming. Right? Very simple. Answer is C. He will not do this. Question number 28. Second language acquisition.
What about second language acquisition?
Do you think I'd find that useful?
Well, you've had some practical experience in the field. I think it would be.
I hadn't thought about that. I'll put that down as a definite then.
Okay.
I thought about that. I'd put that down as a definite then. I'd put that down as a definite then means he will do this. Now see, this thing only a language speaker whose English level is up to advanced level or upper intermediate level, only they can understand. Others will not be able to understand that. Anyways, question number 29, indigenous women's lives. Good. A is the right answer before the audio starts. यही करना उधर जाके भी ना चारों का A लिखते ना एक तो सही हो जाएगा.
What about indigenous women's lives? That sounds appropriate.
I thought so too, but I looked at last year's exam questions and that changed my mind.
Don't judge the value of the course on that. Maybe talk to some other students first and we can talk about it again later.
Okay.
Maybe talk to some other students first and then we'll talk about it later. So that is, he might do this because he did not refuse, he did not accept, so he might do this. That is option B. Let's go on. Question number 30, Portuguese language studies.
Yes, and lastly, will you sign up for Portuguese lessons?
My Spanish is good, so would I find that module easy?
Not necessarily. Some people find that Spanish interferes with learning Portuguese, getting the accent right too. It's quite different in a lot of ways.
Well, I'd much sooner do something else then.
All right.
I will
Now,
do
what we need to
something
do-
else then. Not C. A. Very good, very good. Chor padya gaya. No. Correct answer is C. C. I will do something else. Please listen to this last part. भाई आप लोगों को जल्दी किस चीज़ की है? I am on question number 30. Next page, next page. Listen again. Make sure you find the right answer. Reason क्या है पीछे? आप ये कहते हैं सर चलें 8 बज के हैं जल्दी करें घर भी जाना है आज ऐसी पिंडी गोश्त पकाया है.
Yes, and lastly, will you sign up for Portuguese lessons?
Yeah.
My Spanish is good, so would I find that module easy?
Not necessarily. Some people find that Spanish interferes with learning Portuguese, getting the accent right too. It's quite different in a lot of ways.
Well, I'd much sooner do something else then.
All right.
I will do something
Now,
else.
what we
That
need to
means
do-
he's not going to do it. Right? So answer is C. So whenever you practice, there is one thing. We call it debriefing. Listen carefully. Debriefing is very important. Whenever you do IELTS listening, your one answer is right, good, well done. When your answer is wrong, you need to do debriefing. Why is my answer wrong? What the hell is he saying in the audio? And what the hell is written here that I cannot figure out? Once you figure out both things, then you will say, ah. Or if you are Urdu speaking, Punjabi speaking, you'll say, acha. If you're pure Punjabi, you will abuse. Okay? So then you'll find the right answer. Okay, thank you.